was? It was like he was kind of like the Bob Dylan of comedy. He was doing lyrics and words and phrases that nobody else in comedy was using. And it wasn't that he told jokes as much as just told stories in a funny way and had a just funny inflection.
He said from the beginning in '93 when he did stand-up, he would call the TV the TV.
The TV.
Who else do you know who says the TV?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, Bob Dylan.
Right.
Because I got to meet Bob Dylan once, and I was backstage with our guitarist Jimmy Vivino at a Bob Dylan show, and suddenly I got literally like pushed into a room where there was some, heavy-hitting people in there. I did not consider myself, nor do I still, one of those, but I got pushed in, and I got kind of shoved to the front of this line, and there's Bob Dylan. And he looked right at me and he went, I know you from the TV. And I remembered that in my head, like he calls the television the TV with the emphasis on T. And then Norm, all these years, used to say, it's the TV.
Now, Norm is a giant Dylan fan.
I didn't know that.
Enormous Dylan fan. And sometimes in his material, I feel like there's...
I think that's just Minnesota and Canada. Bob Dylan's from Minnesota.
Yep.
So you're hearing a guy from Minnesota, and you're hearing a guy from Canada, and you're hearing just a North American, the TV,
Right.
Because that Canadian guy also says, like, I'm not a hobo, I mean, those are all old, crusty white manisms, very Canadian, very upper northern, U.S.
Well, here's an interesting fact, and I don't think it's been out there publicly, but Dylan was a fan of Norm's and invited him to his house.
Oh, wow.
And Norm was at Dylan's Malibu house for like 2 days.
Wow.
Spent the night.
Slept there.
Wow.
And
you want coffee?
What do you want to watch on the TV?
Who wants waffles?
What do you want to watch on the TV? Let's both watch the TV. Finally, I found someone who says it right.
You want to play volleyball?
But he told me about this, and it was an interesting experience. But he never talked about it publicly, which shows you, first of all, what a thrill that must have been for this guy who grew up a Dylan fan. But he talked about almost everything. Ask Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
He didn't keep much secret, but he never really talked about Dylan, and it just shows you how much he did.
Right, he didn't trade off of it.
Yeah.
Any other comedian could have turned that into like a whole special, but you dirty dog. He called people you dirty dog, yeah? Like, what? What is that? Who talks that way?
And I'm just an old chunk of coal, and I like Merle. So I was there for Merle, but I stayed for Bob Dylan, and he was kind of it was like you were saying, you couldn't understand what songs he was singing. And but anyways, halfway through the concert, all of a sudden, because he doesn't talk to the audience or something, all of a sudden he started talking to the audience, and he said, Ringo, 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 about 45 times. So everyone was sort of in shock. And finally, a light went into the audience, and it was Ringo Starr was sitting there with some lady. And then he's all uncomfortable. He's like, Ringo. So he said it about 12 more times.
Did you meet him?
Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. What happened was, I was going to finish my Ringo story.
Oh, I'm sorry, Norm. I'm sorry. Ringo.
Ringo. So anyways, he said, Ringo, like a whole bunch of times. And then he said, any songs you want to hear, Ringo? And then Ringo Starr said, I don't know, do you know any Bob Dylan songs?
Do I?
For this story?
Yeah.
Yeah, so name one.
Tangled Up in Blue.
Yeah, so he said, Ringo goes, well, how about Tangled Up in Blue? He goes, I already did that one.
He just didn't understand that he was doing Tangled Up in Blue.
No one understood anything. But, I did meet him, but I don't know him because I'm into country. I'm into outlaw country.
I went and saw Bob Dylan in concert, you know? And he just has complete contempt for the audience. You know? Yeah. And you can't even understand the fucking song. But Ringo Starr was in the audience. Uh-huh. So Dylan, like, recognizes him, like, halfway through the concert. Yeah. He just stops the song and he goes, Ringo! Ringo! He just keeps saying Ringo. He said it about 9 times, right? So finally, like, a spotlight goes on Ringo Starr. Yeah. And he's all embarrassed and everything. He's like, Ringo, what's up? Like, he's not even on stage, you know? He's just talking to Ringo Starr. So, but everybody thinks it's pretty cool. Yeah. So anyways, finally, Dylan, like, snaps at him and he goes, I gotta go back and do this thing. He called it a thing. He goes, I gotta go back and do this thing. He goes, any song you want to hear? And then, like, Ringo Starr goes, Maggie's Farm. And then he goes, we already did that one. And everyone was fucking laugh because you literally can't recognize his songs. Right. But I understand what he's doing because it's like, let's say you told a story to someone, and then the guy said, hey, tell it to this other guy. Then you're going to change the story because you're not going to say the exact same words. You feel like a jackass. So that's what Dylan seems to do in his art. Yeah. He goes, yeah, I'll do the song, but I'll change it all around, mess it up. See what it sounds like. I was just thinking, you know how Bob Dylan plays the guitar, right? You're a musical guy.
A little bit, yeah.
He plays the guitar, you know. And then he plays the harmonica. The harmonica's around his neck, so he'll play the guitar, and then he'll go into the harmonica. Man's considered a genius, I think, by everyone. Yeah. In and out of music. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, he's beyond music in the same way that Ali
a poet.
is beyond.
A poet.
Yeah, he's a poet.
Yeah.
He's our poet.
Like Muhammad Ali, who was also
like
a poet.
Ali, yeah. So anyways, but the thing is, he plays, what I'm saying is he plays the guitar and then he plays the harmonica, and that's a very talented man, you know, you think. But then, if the guy puts like cymbals between his feet, if he's a one-man band, then they're like, look at that retard. He's way more talented. That guy's way more fucking talented. He does like 8 at the same time. Dun, dun, dun.
Where did that come from just now? I mean,
I don't know. We were talking about doing 2 things at once.
Right.
Chance to be free. If you wanna keep your glow, even if you have to go, like a blossom living free. If you chop it off, Keep it for a while, then it dries away. Its shades will fade.